welcome back to the Rush Hour Podcast, a 15-minute podcast where we talk about various Yu-Gi-Oh topics. And today we are going to be basically recapping YCS Niagara, where the Rush Hour boys actually both made top 8, and that was the first of a dream come true. Honestly, I'm so excited to talk about everything that happened as much as we can in 15 minutes. So how do you feel?
I feel freaking great. Like, it's crazy that we both topped. Like, that's like almost kind of unheard of. And then I played out of my mind. Like, I didn't misplay. So
you really did. You had to play me.
Yeah, I had to play you. And then I forgot to mention on my deck before. Gary dropped round 4, and then he watched all my matches after, and he's like, "You didn't misplay a single time."
Yeah.
So like that's even more confirmation I like played good.
You needed this, right? You said I
needed it so bad. So bad. I don't know why I needed it so bad, but I did.
So okay, let's talk about this real quick. Before YCS Niagara, you had topped twice and won twice, right?
Right.
That's insane. You had 100% win rate. I was afraid when you were in top 8, and once I was also in top 8, I didn't care if I didn't. If I wasn't in, I would just be rooting for you, right? But like, because you've won every time you've topped, it's kind of wild to have that stat. So this tournament did a lot of things. One, I think it helped to break your imposter syndrome, because I know that me and you talk about this all the time, but we kind of have this sometimes inner saboteur that kind of tells us like, oh, you ain't shit. And in reality, we're kind of just like beating that thing down all the time. So This was really awesome to both of us have both of us top. Just felt really, really, really good. I didn't think I was gonna make it. You carried me in, so thanks, dog.
I honestly didn't think you were gonna make it either.
Yeah,
like I didn't think any X2s were gonna make it in. I like maybe like one. Yeah, I don't know. I never know how stuff works. Yeah, that's really good.
The usual is one. Matt Kalinda last year, he won. He was X2. He got an 8th place. Denny Yu in Sacramento, the last event, he got an X2, and he was the only one. And so, yeah, I'm not used to seeing more than one X2 make it. I'm also not used to seeing, like, I lost round 3 to you, right? And then you went X and 1. And then I lost round 7 to another value player who also went X and 1. And so my tiebreakers were really good. Basically, I only lost to 2 other people in Top Cut who were you guys were high in Top Cut too. Like your placements were like the top 4, I think, or something. So
yep, I was 3rd. I don't know what the other guy was, but yeah,
he might have been 4th. So you guys were really, really high up in terms of. I mean, you guys put me on your back, and I just beat the other 6 people. And then once I got in the Top Cut, I was able to make a pretty deep run, I guess. Like I won top 8 against the fairy deck, the Valhalla fairy deck. I was very afraid of that the night before.
I was scared of you for that. Yeah.
I always have to play the bullshit deck, bro. Every time I top. It's me against some nonsense immediately, like the one nonsense deck every single time I top. So I was scared because I was like, I don't know that matchup. I'm not going to sit here and act like I understand it because I've never grinded against it. I never played like 15 games straight against it to get a feel for what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm just freestyling. And yeah, after like game 1, I basically won game 1 in the first turn. He won a die roll, which scared me, but my hand was cracked out of this world. My hand was like Rhoda, 1-for-1, Miracle Fusion, Stratos Raw, I think like Rageki Break, and like one more thing, like a Caius or something. And there was not a Caius, but there was something else that was also good. But all I kept thinking was, fuck, I lost the die roll, and if he summons Christie at turn 1, I actually lose with this insane hand. So his first turn, he like says, good luck. He goes discard Hecatrice, search out Valhalla, activate Valhalla, and he like looks at me. And he goes, summon Tethys. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God. Like my inner self, now granted, in the match, I'm stone faced. Like I don't have any emotions whatsoever. I'm just dead. I'm literally not even a human. But in my head, I was literally like jumping for joy. I was like, oh my God, yes, I can use this hand next turn. And then I went turn one for me, I went summon Stratos, activate effect, and he went immediately activate Herald of Orange Light. So for full context, he has Valhalla, Tethys, and then he also sets a monster and doesn't play a single back row. So he has 3 cards in hand and 3 cards on the field. So I was like, okay, no traps. So I go summon Stratos, activate effect, he goes Herald of Orange Light. So now he has 1 card in his hand. I go activate 1-for-1, pitch a water, or pitch something, summon Substitute, Tribute, summon swap, send a thing to the graveyard, play Miracle Fusion, attack over Tethys. That puts him at 4 fairies. And then I was like, okay, so I definitely should attack face down because the recruiters have less than 1,000 defense. So I attack face down, it was a Nova Summoner, and then he got like, I don't really remember, but he got a monster. Oh, yeah, I think he got Honest. And then I was like, so he's at 5 fairies now. So now I'm like, I don't think he can correct his graveyard. And he only has 1 card in hand. I was like, I feel like the game's already over. Like it weirdly, like all his cards are just gone. immediately,
Yeah.
right? Like
You know that
Tethys
goes to
died.
Patricia too, so it's like,
Yeah, like Harold
yeah,
was
you're
a
chilling.
minus because like that, -2 basically. Because like I ended up beating his Tethys in battle. Everything about like the whole situation was just the game just ended turn one, and then game two he beat me with his side deck cards are spicy like Chalice, and he had a pulling rug, he had a Chalice, and he did like a lot of other things that I just wasn't expecting. And so his list is good. Like I think that fairy list is actually respectable. And then game three, we got into like a weird situation where you had Tragodia and DD War Lady, and I summoned Absolute Zero. And like I attacked over Tragodia. I had half a mind to attack the DD War Lady. Something told me that it wasn't correct to do that. And if I would have done that, he said that I was just going to let DD War Lady die and I was going to steal your Absolute Zero with Tragodia. And that would have been really bad for me because something just said like kill the Tragodia, do not try to get the 2-for-1, because if he banishes with DD War Lady, I get both, right? But like something was saying like you just kill the Tragodia and worry about the DD War Lady next turn. Like she's not a threat. And I'm glad I went with that, but some inner intuition just told me to kill the Tragodia instead.
Right.
Anyway, end up winning that, losing top four. If I had 15 more seconds, I probably win top four.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, because it basically went into time, and like that was the only round I went into time the entire tournament, really. All 8 rounds of Swiss, I didn't go into time a single time, which I was really happy about. And yeah, top four, first time going into time. And I think the finals was also in time. I think that there's a common
He lost in time, but it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, because he drew brand control under Cold Wave. But like, common denominator there. But yeah, I played off for third and fourth. I've been there before last year at Nationals, and I lost and got fourth place. Did not feel good to get fourth place because that's literally the worst place you can get in a YCS, unfortunately. It gets really, really bad. You get nothing. You get a hamster mat or whatever the mat is at the time. They need to fix that. I don't know why they kind of just like spitefully give fourth place nothing, but this time I did get a giant rescue cat, summon cat, good. It sold it for $1,000, and we're up $7,000 in giant cards this year, which is fucking crazy.
I feel so bad for Dirk though, because he went undefeated in Swiss, and then proceeds. And then he wins his round, top 8, and he loses 2 in a row to get fourth. That feels so bad.
Yeah, that's awful. I did feel bad for him too, because like,
yeah, he's such a nice guy.
He is a nice guy, and to go 9-0 to 9-2 and you get nothing for that, like that's insane. Come on.
Don't they do it for Modern now? If you go undefeated in Swiss or something, you get something now.
You get an oversized version of the prize card, I heard, which is actually pretty. Yeah, that's amazing. By the way, we should get something like that.
We should get anything more, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh my god, or the speed duel stuff. Holy cow.
So can we talk real quick about your experience? Because I just gave everybody kind of my looks, and I'll expand on this in another video. But how was this whole weekend for you in terms of topping and like your prep work and top cut?
Yeah, stuff? My prep work. Well, I actually did some prep work this time. I normally don't do prep work. I normally kind of just like play normally. But this time I tested the virus build a lot, and then that just reaffirmed what I liked about normal value. And then I did like solidify the second deck dev in the main. And then Gary helped me with my side deck, which ultimately like won me the tournament, or not won the tournament, like let me top.
You're
because
so used to winning when you top that. You just said won the tournament.
I feel like a winner. I feel like a winner, honestly.
Every time you top, you win, damn it.
I'm on that high. Yeah, Solemn was so good in the side, and Gary convinced me to put that back in. But then round 8, I had to play against that Enrique. He's actually from Illinois, but I've seen him, but I've never like talked to him or played him. And then it's funny because he takes like 4 or 5 minutes to present me his deck, which I was like, he couldn't figure out, like he got there late and he couldn't figure out what to decide, and he was taking forever. He counted his main deck and side deck twice.
Wow.
And then I was like, I'm not going to be that guy and like ask a judge like for a game loss. But then he ends up playing Dream Stun Frog. And I'm like, I literally said to him, I'm a little flustered right now because you said we wouldn't go into time. And you're playing the deck that is notorious for going to time. So as soon as I realized he's playing Dream Frog, I started not cutting his deck. I told him to speed up. I'm like, yes. I'm not like, he's like, response. I'm like, yes, it's everything. Yeah. But then, like we got into that like life point argument. Basically we figured out like in my head, he didn't declare an attack with swap. I didn't see it. In his head, he did this. But then the judges were like, well, you verbalized this attack, but you didn't verbalize this attack. And he's like, yeah. So they ruled it in my favor.
Okay.
But because of that, like he summoned Caius and tried to Caius himself for a game. And so they said like, hey, because of the life point like update, you can pick a different target because you wouldn't have targeted your own Caius.
I'm glad they didn't force him to do the play that's like you would never do that if life points. I get it. There's some cutthroat people out there who are like, oh, he made the play, he should have known life points and all that. I get it. I'm just in a different place now where I don't think that you should be forced to commit to a play under the guise that like life points were this, and they just weren't, right? And you guys, neither one of you was using pen and paper, right?
We were both using calculator, but we
Yeah.
had like all track. That's how we figured out.
That's
Like,
what I do as well. I've never used pen and paper. If you ever see me play in a tournament, I use a TI-83 and I use stat 1 to have 2 lines that show 8,000, 8,000. I just have it declining with every single change in life points. And I periodically check life points throughout the tournament, throughout the game, just so that type of thing doesn't happen. But that doesn't mean that it can't happen, because I actually did have a situation.
Too.
Yeah.
Oh, at that tournament?
Yeah, I had a situation where life points were wrong. My opponent had the wrong numbers, and I basically had to like update them, because I think it was in top 8 actually. I think the guy I played, I remember something about, I said, did you take off the 600 from when Zero attacked over Tethys turn 1? And he did not. So he was off by 600, and that's what we had a slight
well, you guys figured it out. Yeah,
we figured it out, and it wasn't like a bad thing, but it was one of those things where like life points were wrong at a point in that duel. Life points were wrong, whether he knew it or not. I had the right life points, but yeah, it's just one of those things. Communication error, it's a life points error. It can happen. And you guys had a very long back and forth with the judges and everything. You were very passionate about what you were saying, so you were loud, and it wasn't like a angry loud. It was just like I'm loud because I'm I don't know, I'm hyper, right? Like it's the last round. This is the match that means everything. I'm also rooting for you because I already won my match. But I was rooting for you because you were my tiebreaker, and then unfortunately, Marcus Hayden played my other tiebreaker at table 1, and he had lost. So I was like, okay, one of my guys, the second guy who beat me is now X1. He's locked. So now if you win, I was like, I have a shot at least if you win. And I was like, if you don't win, I have no shot, because you're going to be the X2 that gets in, obviously, at that point. And I was at like table 6 in the last round. And I realized, because right next to me was the fairy guy that I played in top 8, who was X1, versus Televisual Sushant, who was X1. So I was sitting next to the bottom X1s, but I was the highest X2, right? Like I'm the table right there. I'm X2, sitting right next to the X1s. So I felt pretty confident that like, if you won, I get in. When I finally got it from my chair and walked around to see your duel, you had set him up to do like this crazy dark arm OTK play. I saw the writing on the wall, and I was like, yes, Sizzle has it. I just need him to lock it in. And you did, and you OTK'd him. Yeah, you just did it. Everyone was watching because you guys were in that dispute or whatever.
We had an 11-minute time extension because of that dispute, and our judge that gave us the time extension told us multiple times, and Chai confirmed it for me. Shout out to Chai, because he verbally confirmed with the judge. Like, they kept saying 7:15, and the judge was like, yes, 7:15 instead of like 3 times. But the round was supposed to end at like 7:05. So we had like a 20-minute time extension. That's why we were like,
wow,
by far the last round. Yeah.
Everyone in the room was watching you guys.
Yes. And in the middle of game 2, another judge comes over, like, you guys have like 4 minutes. And I'm like, huh? And then I like side out like my solemn and like my return. And then Chai's like, no. The other judge like said like we have like a lot more time. So then I put back in solemn return, and then I actually won me the game.
Yeah. Oh God, what a crazy tournament, bro. We both made it. That felt so good. I wanted us to play in the finals, but I think the way it was set up is if you won your top 8, we were going to play each other immediately.
Yeah.
Like, we were going to play in top 4 too. Did you play top 8 well?
I played it so good, dude.
What happened? I don't know how you lost, really.
Game 1, I should have gone 2-0. Game 1, I held the Mirror Force for like 2 turns, and he played right into it when he shouldn't have. So I stole game 1. Game 2, he turn 2 like FTKs me because he flips Decree and then just goes Dark Arm Brio.
Oh.
And then game 3, oh my god, okay, real quick. I go Grepher and pitch Necro, and I dump Vayu, not Plague, because I don't want him to get Zombie Master stuff.
Yeah.
And then I set Solemn and pass, and I'm thinking, I have to Solemn a Kaiku here because Kaiku's going to mess my shit up.
Yep.
He goes, draw MST, and I think for like 30 seconds, and I'm like, chain Necrogarna.
Yeah,
and then
I heard about this.
And he's shuffling his hand for like, he's really thinking really hard. He just summons Necrogarna, set back row pass, or summon Kaiku, set back row pass.
So he did have it. Yeah.
He did have it, yeah. And then I Kai'd him, and then next turn he T-sets. Apparently he ripped return.
Oh, no.
And then I drew another Kai'd, and I Kai'd his Goblin Zombie, and then he ripped Krebons, so he returns
Goblin Zombie,
Krebons, and I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah, but he's at 600 now, and I have Brain Control, and I'm like, if I draw any monster, I win. And I drew Bottomless Trap Hole, and then I had a Blind Allure, and I Blind Allured into a Deck Dev Plague, and it's just like, I can't win. I could have drawn so many outs. Like even a Battle Trap. Battle Trap wasn't out. Like I had way too many outs. But yeah, that really sucked because he drew into the return. And yeah,
against me, he allured with only 2 cards in hand. It was Malicious and Teleport. I knew that he had because I trapped Dutchered him, I think. And he drew Mind Control and Plague Spreader Zombie, Banish Malicious, Mind Control my Caius, Summon Plague Spreader. This is game 2. I won game 1. This is how he crawls out of game 2. Game 2 was cooked. I was like, this game's over. And that he drew Allure, 3 cards in hand, Allure, draw the Mind Control plus Plague, Banish, Summon, Synchro, make colossal fighter. I was like, wow, like
That's crazy.
yeah. And then basically like the momentum from that just started to spiral out of control. But
It was his day.
It was, and he was saying all weekend I don't want to play you and stuff like that. And then we eventually played in top 4 of all things, which he was saying that since round 1. Like when round 1 was over and I was walking around, he was like, "What's your record?" I was like, "I won round 1." And he was like, "Oh man, we're in the same bracket. I really don't want to play you." And then like round 4 or 5, I was like, "Yeah, I'm X1." And he was like, "Oh, good. Like we're, I think he was doing really well." And he was like, "All right, well we're not in the same bracket, so I shouldn't have to play you." And then when I was X2 and it was the last round, he asked me again, and I was like, "I'm currently X2. I just lost round 7." He's like, "Okay, good. So we won't play each other," because he ended up being X1, I think, or something. So, but yeah, really interesting tournament. Like,
yeah,
topping with your friend is such a good feeling.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that it would happen so soon because we just started this podcast like very recently. Like this is like, I don't even know what episode, but not very many. And so for us to already be in Top Cut together is really cool. I did no prep work really. I played God of War all week. You guys blatantly can see on my channel that I was live playing God of War for like 4 or 5 hours per session all week. I played 0 games the entire week. The first set I played was round 1. And I played against my boy playing Black Wings from New York, Manny. And then that was the start of my tournament. I won that round. I won round 2. Round 3, I played you. Then I won 4, 5, 6. Round 7, lost. Won round 8. Got in the top. Got 3rd place. Collected my prize. The prize got sold at some point, and I was really happy. I was like, yes, redemption. I haven't topped anything since I won. Or I should say, yeah.
Same.
I was like, well, I should say I haven't topped anything in person since I won.
Yeah.
Because Nationals I didn't even play because of my flub. Sacramento, I lost round 1 to a main deck Vanity's Fiend and Hero Frogs, which was wild. And so I've had like a string of bad luck. And I knew that something like that could happen because obviously when you win an event, like luck has to be on your side. So then you kind of go through like a rut where things are not on your side that much. And that's basically what happened. I feel like this weekend, I don't feel like the pendulum was swinging in either direction too far. Like I won a decent amount of die rolls. I lost a decent amount of die rolls. I top deck stuff when I needed to. My opponent's top deck stuff when I needed to. And so it wasn't like I didn't feel like this was a sacky ass tournament. Everything felt very calm and neutral. It didn't feel like, oh, he just like ripped that one outer type thing a bunch. Because that sucks. Awesome experience, honestly. We had so much fun. We went out to eat every day.
The meals were great too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And our company was good. Yeah. That first meal with everyone, Funk, Pro Storm. Yeah.
Meeting Pro Storm was awesome. We finally got to see what he looks like. I lent him the Christie Sworn deck. He also went 6-2. Just lost out the tiebreakers, which happens, but that's still a really good record. Yeah, and then like you said, the dinners with everybody, me, you, OG, Chef Taku, Chai, Marcus Hayden, like just amazing. Kevin Wu, like amazing experience. We just talk all night.
It was great.
Yeah,
I love it.
I
look forward to the meal a lot.
Me too. Yeah. We're going to Anaheim. We're all booked for Anaheim, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't wait. Are we getting like an Airbnb or something for that? What's the plan?
We haven't booked our lodging yet. So
yeah, we booked. My flight got booked.
We're literally
yesterday.
talking about our lodging right now, actually.
Yeah, the flight was only $200. So I was like, I'm booking it now from Philly to Anaheim. Well, from Philly to LAX, nonstop was $200, and on a real airline too, American Airlines, like not even flying some bullshit airline. So everybody, we will see you in Anaheim. Hopefully, we can top again together. That would be great, and maybe we'll be on opposite sides of the bracket. But this is the longest episode so far. We're definitely over the 15-minute mark at this point. Even after editing, I'm sure it's still going to be over 15 minutes. But it's a special occasion. The Rush Hour podcast made top 8 at a YCS. It's fucking a dream come true. And yeah, we're going to capture a win. What we were talking about before we end, we were talking about adding an extra line. When we both topped that night, we went out to dinner with the big group. We were saying like, oh, one of us is going to get to add a line to our giant cards in this podcast. So you see how it says YCS Atlanta winner, YCS Indy, RBET Orlando, YCS Raleigh. If one of us won the event, we could add another line and have 3 lines. And that's a goal. That's actually a really fucking cool goal. So now we're like in a little race to try to see who can add a 3rd line. And I was really close. I was really close to adding a 3rd line. So close.
I want you to win though, but I was like, fuck, if he wins, like he's get that line, but I want you to
Yeah. Oh man. I'll be happy no matter which one of us gets it though. Like even though I want to win again, but I will be so happy if it's you too, because I just love seeing my friends do well.
Yeah, agree. What a great timeline we live in, man. Yeah,
this is the best. This year for our group has been the absolute best. Like Gary won 2 tournaments, you won a tournament, I won a tournament, several tops. Luke Feeney and Cairo both topped Sacramento together. Luke topped RBET Maryland. Like it's just been an amazing year all around. And then all the online tournaments, like I've topped a shit ton of those. I don't even know how many tops I actually have this year. Like, I'm not even kidding. I just do not know. I have not actually added it all up, but it's a lot now. So I'm just really happy.
Hector's been winning, Rick's been winning. I feel like every time we enter one of these what's it called, like premiere events, we always stay till the end because there's always someone we know
Yes.
somehow in top.
Yeah,
It's
bro.
not real, yeah.
It's kind of crazy. But all right, guys, we will catch you in the next one. Peace.